I'm Richard Francis, and I'm presently studying for a Doctor of Music degree in Auckland. And my piece is the second movement of a work which is called Time, based on a poem by Alan Kernow. And the first movement is called I Am, and the second movement is called I Time, and the third movement is called The Beginning and the End. The ideas that Alan Kernow presents in his poem I picked up on, and so the first movement is basically about the now, the present. It's about the present tense, I am. And the second movement, which is being recorded, I Time, is really now, the immediate. And the third movement is the beginning and the end, which is really about past and future. The first movement really is a chorale, but the second movement that's being recorded, I Time, is basically has an immediacy about the language and is now, and it's much shorter than the other two movements. And the last movement is just a reflection on the past and the present. The piece uses a tone row, which is used throughout all the movements, and I've used it in its various permutations. And certain parts of the work are just are based on sections of the row, such as trichords or tetrachords. And the second movement, which is being recorded, has lots of trichords, especially at the end of the work, where there are smaller harmonic units at play. And so I've used and they're also very related to what I call the mother set, which is the main row that I use, which analytically I've called row H. So all the other little subsets are little babies of that row. So, but it was quite fun using such a formal process, but it was quite daunting at the same time. Yes, for this work it worked very well because I wanted this theme of time to run all the way through, and so it was. Using the row as a cohesive thing, it just joined the sections together orally, and that's what I basically wanted, to have this huge oral relation and audibility. In the second movement, I've used smaller forces of. I don't use double strings in the second movement of I Time. I contrast a lot more with the wind against brass, using it much more in choir formation. So there's often a response from the woodwind plays a section, and then it's kind of there's a response by the brass section, where that's not so much in the other movements. And also I'm thinking much more in this composition of having block sounds, whereas the other movements are much more linear. Although towards the end of our time, it becomes quite linear. There are lines against each other, especially in the woodwind.